Please don't forget to subscribe, because a lot of people that watch my videos don't subscribe apparently, and hit that bell so you stay informed with the latest and greatest videos from this channel. I'm also live every day on twitch.tv/HasanAbi after 11 a.m. Pacific. I'm a villain, right? I'm a villain in the story in your mind. But like now you're also literally putting my mom's life at risk. So thank you.
Hate the game, not the player. GG Hasan.
Leftist, progressive, socialist, Twitch streamer and political commentator Hasan Piker has purchased himself a nearly $3 million home in West Hollywood. And boy, are leftists angry. You know, when I heard that a socialist made all this money, is super rich, and was going to buy themselves this massive mansion, you know, I thought to myself, oh, congratulations, Hasan. Wow, that's really impressive. The guy works really, really hard, and he deserves it. Hasan streams for like 8 or 10 hours every day, and that's no simple feat. You know, I work around 12 to 16 hours every day. The first video that I publish goes up around 10 a.m., but I begin the research and work around 8 a.m., and then we finish and wrap up the final show around 11 p.m., so I certainly understand what it is to work and talk nonstop and do this stuff all day, every day. And so, you know, congratulations to Hasan for grinding. And proving, you know, with hard work, determination, talent, and all that stuff, you can be successful. And I'm going to say it outright, not facetious at all. You are allowed to be a leftist and successful. This idea that you want to promote universal health care or that you want to promote social programs means that you can't be wealthy is just a stupid trope. It's dumb. I don't even think conservatives, for the most part, embrace that idea. What? You know, right now, in response to Hasan buying this massive home, there are a few questions that arise that I want to talk about. I'm not super interested in talking about Hasan as an individual because he's just another political commentator. But I am interested in talking about the response to him buying this home, because you're getting, for one, Breitbart wrote an article, and it seems to be criticizing him for being a rich socialist, which, you know, we'll talk about what that means. And I do think there's some potential contradictory issues there. But then you have leftists that are piling on and saying he should be spending this money on mutual aid and activism and programs to help the working class. Instead, he's enriched himself. But I think you need to understand that when it comes to capitalism or free enterprise, when it comes to socialism.
Bro, it seems like this motherfucker is getting in the nitty gritty, which is something that you don't usually see.
The political spectrum, the economic spectrum is actually fairly gradient. There are certainly people who believe that
friend of the show, Tim Pool, what the fuck?
80% of all of, you know, wealth should be controlled by the state or something like that. And you still have the right to make and earn money. I do think there are many people that are making excuses for Hasan. However, and I think it's really simple. I don't believe that Hasan is ideologically 100% like authoritarian socialist. I think he's just very far left. I'm not saying that to be disparaging. I think he still obviously believes in personal wealth and success and
I hate that Tim Pool has a better perspective on this than like some of the fucking weirdos on fucking left Twitter and literally nearly every single right winger. Like now I'm thinking, wow, maybe I am in the wrong here. You know what I mean?
Hard work, and that's a good thing. But there is a big conundrum that I run into when it comes to the left and their principles that we need to address. So obviously, we'll learn about his house and what the left is saying. We'll ask some of these questions. But why is it? We have one story about.
I mean, he did a 30-minute video. There's no shot he doesn't use this for pot shots. You know what I mean? I suspect pot shots will be coming.
Staff at a socialist magazine were all fired because they tried forming a worker co-op, effectively labor organizing. The guy who runs it was like, later, you're fired for trying to basically unionize. That's weird to me.
I don't know the exact details of the Nathan Robinson thing, first of all. And I will mention that Nathan Robinson actually unfollowed me after I said that, like, there will always be a necessity for some form of, whether it's democratically organized or not, force of individuals that protect and maintain the presence of law and order. You can call it police. You don't have to call it police. Doesn't matter. and he got very upset at me, and I think he like literally unfollowed me after that.
Mufasa.
So since then, I'm like,
I also bought my first
you know,
apartment this year,
not his
but it's
biggest
done
fan,
yet, so I
right?
can't move in hassle.
I've had him on the show before. Do you regret making your house purchase process public on stream? What? Dude, are people stupid? I didn't do that. Like, I literally did not do that, dude. It fucking leaked. Shut up. So, but from what I understand, like, the previous way that current affairs was working, like, the previous way that current affairs was working, to the best of my knowledge, was that they literally were all getting the same payment, including Nathan Robinson. Like, there wasn't, like, they already had, like, a very weird form of, I mean, they had a labor union, and they also have
Please watch ContraPoint's video on Envy. It perfectly fits this situation perfectly.
Giving updates on your house on it doesn't matter, because I literally told everyone that I was no longer looking for a house officially, and I made a video about it, and I actually at the time had stopped.
Hasan, how could you selfishly
at the time I had stopped looking for houses. My parents never stopped.
Literally end
but
capitalism. This is my dono to you to end capitalism. Please don't use it for luxury ice cream
anyway,
sandwiches. Please, I am trusting.
No, he's not talking about TYT with the union. I wasn't even there when that happened. But it was organized pretty well, but Nathan reacted badly to losing editorial control and tried to fire people. So that's what people are saying. People are saying that, like, it was already unionized, and they were already... It was already unionized, and they were already getting paid like the exact same amount of money and shit. Like, it's pretty crazy, the organizational structure that he had.
The drama is bullshit. Please, God, move on.
Wait, what are people saying? But from what I understand, there's conflicting reports of what's going on. Sorry, I've been offline. Just finished signing papers on my first house. Anyway, what did I miss?
How dare you spend the money that your subs give you for being entertaining and making them laugh, Keck?
What is this? Sean TBD. Hasan is wealthy because he creates content. Bezos is exponentially more wealthy because he makes his employees piss in bottles. I cannot believe people are mad about this. Yeah. They still are paid the same and doesn't have a power to fire anyone. Board of directors has that power. It's stupid. Yeah, I don't really understand how... I do not understand how that, like, turned into this thing where, like, he already had, what about his editor? Just asking? Yeah, dude, my editors are fucking dead in a basement that I've locked them away in, where they are currently being held at gunpoint. More grifters are using this for content than people that are actually mad? For sure. At this point, just do what you want. People are just going to find something to complain about. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I am doing what I want. I don't give a fuck. So as far as the Nathan J. Robinson thing goes, I truly don't know what the fuck happened there. But it actually did seem a lot more ethical than the way that people make it seem like it was. But I do have friends that worked there. So I don't know what the exact details are. So I don't want to, like, get anything wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I literally have friends that I know many people that have written for for Current Affairs magazine. And ultimately, one of the worst parts about this, as far as, like, yeah, Nathan J. Robinson, he's a weird guy. He has, like, still a British accent, despite the fact that he's, like, lived in fucking America for many years. You know, dresses weirdly. Like, he has, like, all the aesthetic things that make someone unlikable in a similar way that I do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm too bro-y. Like, that sort of stuff absolutely triggers something in a person's brain. And he dresses really weirdly, but ultimately doesn't feel like what they were doing at Current Affairs was legitimately exploitative at all. And not only that, but how do I describe it? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, it's kind of sad that Current Affairs will go away and like shutter its doors. You know what I mean? Because they did a lot of good work. Like, Current Affairs did a lot of good work, man. They had a great fucking, they had a decent article on the Jordan Peterson stuff. They had a good article, great article on Pete Buttigieg. Like, they were putting out good fucking work and good, heavily circulated articles. So it's kind of sad. He union busted? No, they already had a union, but I think that he wanted like some sort of organizational hierarchy because he felt like the way that his like he wasn't happy that they weren't generating enough subscription revenue and stuff like that, and he wanted to change it, and you know, it just like didn't work out. So it's truly sad to see stuff like this. But of course, he's not very likable. So that definitely plays a role for, I think, for a lot of people. I'm just being as honest as possible about this. Housewarming present. My face when the boss leaves for another job at lunch on Friday. Had time to make this for a fellow left grifter to put above his door. Hasan's mansion. Oh no. Oh, I love that. It's great. So, yeah, I'm a little conflicted on Current Affairs. Okay? The two articles you cited were both by Nathan. The CA staff are freeloaders who wrote nothing. They abused his generosity. I don't agree with that either. This guy said you should have bought $100,000. Where is this neighborhood with $100,000 homes? Says DSA Maoist Caucus. So what would you do with $3 million? Personally, I'd probably buy a house too. And then I used the other $2.9 million. I thought about 100 cooperatives. This person is literally 12, dude. I'm sorry. Like, you have to be 12 years old to think that, one, you can buy a $100,000 house anywhere in the country right now. Okay? And then, two, that you can start 100 workers cooperatives with 2 point. It's a joke. It's a joke. There's no shot. Either they're like actually 12 or they're just joking. You know? Lance's take on both your house and the CA housing situation. I appreciate the big scandals on the left right now that are a magazine that didn't form a worker co-op and a streamer has a house in LA. Meanwhile, the right is covering up the latest child sex trafficking scandal du jour. We can look at multiple things, Lance. Also, the magazine is actually worthy of criticism. Wait, what is this person saying? Okay, his lover era begins now. This dude said that the average worker makes 30K in their lifetime. I'm looking for a house now. First of all, how the fuck do you start 100 co-ops? Like, how does that work? Are you going to work at 100 different fucking cooperatively owned companies? I mean, it's a joke anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yes, I saw that I'm on Fox News. Okay, here, let's keep playing Tim Pool and
then you
whatever
have the
the fuck
story
you're saying.
about Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, who also was called out for union busting. And I'm like, this I do not get. Perhaps I'm too nice and trusting. Perhaps these people are all grifters. And they're...
Yeah, that's Tim Pool. He's too trusting of the left. Which, by the way, I heavily criticized Cenk's union busting, for the record. I very publicly and very heavily fucking ripped into him at the time. So for anyone who says that, you know, I was like fucking defending him or anything like that, it's literally not true. Like, Yahtzee fucking still follows me and recognizes that I was absolutely on board with their efforts there. Laura Ingraham just said on her show, this guy thinks America deserved 9/11. Well, now he has a new house for anyone that thinks maybe he deserves that too. That's not what Laura Ingraham said. No shot. Laura Ingraham is not live yet. Easy content, lol. Geez, this is so low hanging for a streamer or YouTube. Oh my God, work for a living, huh? Yeah.
They're just saying what they think is popular to make money. And what's funny is they come out and call me the grifter. I'm pretty sure if I was a grifter, I wouldn't say, congratulations, Hasan Piker. You do great work and work hard and you deserve it. I genuinely believe that. The dude works really hard and he does deserve it. I think there's some interesting moral and ethical questions and philosophical questions around the economics of socialism that need to be addressed by what's happening here.
I got to pee.
But I got no problem just telling you how I feel. Is it true that Hasan perhaps is just saying things that he thinks people want to hear? Maybe. Or maybe he doesn't think that people shouldn't be allowed to have wealth and access based on merit, because even in a fully socialist system, the only way, ultimately it's going to devolve into authoritarianism, which is the ultimate issue. So there has to still be some element of free enterprise for a system to function. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. We've got the Young Turks, union busting. We got a socialist magazine, union busting. That I do not understand. I am not a far leftist, but I have no issue with unionization. I personally talk about how I don't want to be in a union and I didn't like being forced to, but I got no issue with people wanting to form a union. In fact, by all means, more power to you. I have criticized a lot of these people at these companies because Fusion, for instance, where I worked, these people wanted to unionize without realizing that they were a net negative on the company. They didn't make money. They had no bargaining power. And my criticism for that was that the workers were going to be hurting themselves by doing it. Ultimately, it resulted in like 300 layoffs because the company said, you don't make any money for the company. You have no bargaining position. You could go on strike indefinitely and we don't care. That's my criticism. If people are at a successful company and they want to form a union, like, do it to it. But let's talk about socialism, personal wealth, and what's happening right now. We got this story from Sportskita. I don't know what it is, but they did write about it and included some sources. They say, Hasan Piker recently boasted about his $3 million home in West Hollywood, raised in Turkey.
What did I miss? Did he use this as an opportunity to fucking completely misrepresent and misunderstand? Boasted? Boasted? What do you mean fucking boasted, dude? I boasted about this house? Yeah, I love boasting about something that I desperately tried to fucking hide. I know the article said it. I'm mad at the article. I'm not mad at Tim. I mean, I'm a little mad at Tim Pool for reading this article without correcting it. But
the content creator began commenting on politics on the Young Turks before leaving in early 2020 to become a Twitch streamer. HasanAbi, now a progressive political commentator on the live streaming platform, is speculated to receive over $300,000 to $400,000 a year. Wrong. I will just tell you this is wrong. I'm not here to like drag Hasan in any way. No, I have tremendous respect for his hard work.
I don't believe that he has tremendous respect for my hard work. But yes, no, I don't make 300 to 400K a year.
And he's allowed to have his political opinions. I got no issue. Actually, I agree with him on a lot of his political opinions. He makes, I would estimate, probably $300,000 to $400,000 per month. not per year, per
okay. It's overshooting it a little bit, but okay.
month. And that's just based off of his YouTube numbers.
That's also wrong. Both of those are wrong.
If he runs ads on his YouTube, I checked his YouTube channel. I didn't see ads. But based on what people have said about his Twitch stream, having 1.5 million subs, streaming for 10 hours a day, pretty sure the dude's making a cool 3-4 million a year. He probably pays 50 to 60% in taxes. We'll talk about that too. They say the 30-year-old's home allegedly contains 5 bedrooms and 5.5 bathrooms in West Hollywood. The 3,800 square foot house is described as having a Mediterranean style of architecture and was built in 2014. Since the announcement of HasanAbi's home, many Twitter users have commented on the extravagance of the purchase. However, YouTuber Ethan Klein shared his appreciation and support of Piker's home, saying, y'all really think Hasan shouldn't be able to...
Half the motherfuckers that are like tweeting about how insane this purchase is live in the basement of their parents' larger home. It's just in fucking Minnesota, okay? That's the difference. Like, half the people are like, I can't believe he bought this fucking house. It's so extravagant. It's a fucking mansion. Like, literally, meanwhile, you're in your mother's basement in a fucking gigantic, like, mega mansion in the middle of Minnesota. So it's, cheaper.
To own a nice house and also champion for the poor and underprivileged. There is a difference between making millions on Twitch and paying 50% in taxes and Jeff Bezos being worth $150 billion and paying no taxes.
By the way, the funniest part about this is like, okay, this in many ways is like getting mad at me for having a fucking Herman Miller chair, which is very expensive, as you guys already know, or getting mad at me for having a fucking uplift desk, which is also very expensive. Because this isn't just like a fucking house. It's also my base of operations where I will be streaming from. Okay? Opportunities to be able to have more guests on, for example. Building a fucking studio, for example. So there are plenty of, like, it's literally a fucking investment as well from a capitalist point of view as well. It's just I'm investing in myself. So what I consider on top of that is just that, like, people would never get mad at that. Like, they would literally never get mad at that in nearly any other circumstance. Please do. The context makes this so worth it. He literally grinded for years, but I guess a Turkish man isn't allowed to buy a house. Erdogan's new presidential pal. I don't know who the fuck this dude is, but it's pretty funny. I'm retweeting it. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of these. I'm sick and tired of it, dude. They really don't want to see Turkish men thrive out here, bro. Me and Erdogan. Army home based? What? Dude, this is... I'm joking. I don't like Erdogan. They say nobody should tell them how to spend their money while telling you how to spend yours. No, that's one of the worst fucking... That's one of the worst parts about it is that, like, I hate it when fucking leftists or people who, like, are aesthetically leftist turn around and literally apply the fake cartoonish depictions of leftists willingly. Like, Republicans constantly fucking say, oh my God, leftists want you. They want to take away all of your assets. They want to take away all of your money. They want to take away your fucking toothbrush. They want to tell you how to spend your money, and that shouldn't happen. Okay. And then leftists are like, no, we are saying that. We are saying that. We want your fucking toothbrush. We want your house. Why are you doing that? My family were landlords in Vietnam, and even during land reform, they didn't take their personal house. Yeah. Not sure this needs to be said, but I wish Hasan the Hun the best. He's a smart, creative person who now has the tools to spread his truth even further. There's the potential here to do a profound amount of good if he stays good. Capitalism and the internet will make that hard. yeah, I mean, I think it'll be all right. I've been getting shit on by left and right for a very long time. It hasn't caused me to change my principles, my values. Unlike flying business class one time, which immediately I was like, wow, okay, never mind. Yeah, what the fuck was I doing? That was a principled stance I was taking when it comes to air travel. And then one time I didn't, and holy shit, I'm out, boys. You know, fuck this leftist shit, dude. I saw a lefty say problematic men are more attractive than leftist men in response to all this. What a hill to die on. All right, let's keep going.
Happy Hasan is crushing it. Jeff Bezos pays taxes. Amazon is who didn't pay corporate tax, but Amazon also pays taxes. But I clarifying that, I agree with Ethan Klein. I think there's literally nothing wrong with Hasan advocating for even socialist policy and then making a few $1,000,000 a year, because this is one of the problems we get with establishment Democrat types and leftists that they need to speak up about. There is a very big difference between people who make $250,000 to like $1,000,000, people who make $1,000,000.
Wait, I do say that, but like that's not at the heart of the problem. The heart of the problem is like how you do it, how you
to
fucking
$10 million,
accumulate that wealth.
And people who make 120 million per year or who are worth billions of dollars. And it seems like the only time I hear this from leftists is when they are being criticized for being wealthy. This is the problem I've been trying to bring up for some time. When Bernie Sanders comes out and says tax the rich, he's talking about taxing people who make more than 500K. That's a lot of money, but that is not 3 to 4 million K. Someone who makes $500,000 a year, they've got all their needs covered, everything's covered. They're probably giving up about 50% in taxes. Yes, 50%. I can explain how that works in a second. And so they're taking home in cash about $250, a lot of money. So they got their house, they got their health care, they got their kids, their family, their vacation, everything's covered. And then every year they got about 180, 150K for investments. That's a lot of money. You can do a lot with that. That's a very big difference between Hasan making, say, 4 million, where he's got a cool 3.8 million or 3.9 million to invest and gain more and more wealth and power. That's, I think, what typically the socialist criticism is, but it seems to fall on deaf ears once it comes to leftists themselves. In this instance, I am saying I got no issue with Hasan or any of these people being wealthy. Ethan Klein obviously is super wealthy as well. I just think that if we're going to be talking about taxing the rich and these kinds of issues, we're really focused on the massive, massive wealth. However, it's still hard to figure out how you draw these lines, considering if you do like a wealth tax, all that does is eliminates the wealthy. Is that really the solution to all of the problems? Well, the left wants that to happen, but I don't know that's actually a solution to the problem, because if you implement a wealth tax, you'll just end up with individuals finding different ways to gain control over assets. The ultimate issue is...
What is this? This is how you're treating your editors? Thanks for the new office, Hasan. Looking forward to working more closely with you in there. Okay, dude. I don't want to fucking... No, motherfuckers harass the shit out of... Motherfuckers harass the shit out of my editors, okay? Just do not fucking
smart
contact
and talented
them.
People can
Please.
figure out how to gain control of a system. It may be through finance.
Like literally non-stop. Non-fucking stop. Bro, come on, come on. Come on, bro. Tell us he's bad, right? He's a bad person. Come on, tell us.
It may be through crypto. It may be through control of systems or religion or ideology. Ultimately, you take away Bezos's wealth through a tax, he finds other ways to store it. It's like what we saw with Mark Zuckerberg putting his money into an LLC, or we see with all these billionaires putting money into nonprofits. But let's read. Netizens react.
I'm losing my fucking mind. He's right. Like, why? Why is Tim Pool unironically correct on like everything he's saying here, dude? This sucks so bad. This is the weirdest fucking timeline. Like, I don't get it. I don't fucking understand it. I mean, there's still a bunch of like dumb shit. There's still like a bunch of fucking dumb shit that he has said, like purposeful or maybe not on purpose, misunderstanding. And regardless, he is crazy. Like the amount of like things that Tim Pool does on a regular basis is completely ridiculous. This is probably part of the this is probably part of his like I'm actually a liberal take, you know what I mean? Because he does do this every now and then. Maybe it's because he wants to angle it, like his rhetoric, in a way where some of you guys will go over there and watch and you know, watch him and fucking, you know, become fans of him or something. But it's ridiculous.
One user said, "Don't really see an issue with Hasan buying a house. Becoming rich off streaming probably ranks low on the scale of exploitation." I absolutely disagree.
Wait, what? Okay. Oh, thank God. Thank fucking God, dude. Okay. I was waiting for something that I disagree with him on. I was like, this is fucking crazy.
How are you going to come out all day, every day, talk about grifters, people who are scaring grandma to make money? Well, that's what they accuse me of doing, even though my audience is like 30 years old on average, younger than I am. And they're saying I'm just scaring grandma. I mean, maybe when I make an appearance on Fox News, it scares grandma. But my audience is not above 55. It is almost entirely like, I think the average age is probably 30 years old, younger than me. And there's a large portion of 18 to 24, 24 to 35 is probably the biggest demographic. So, exploitation. If you are just going online and saying what people want to hear so that they give you money, you are exploiting them.
Why do people always say, oh, dude, all you're doing, I mean, I guess it's like fucking awesome that people are constantly saying like, oh, dude, you're a grifter because you're just telling people what they want to hear. Okay, so you're admitting that people want to hear about socialism then, I guess, which is great. I mean, awesome. I didn't realize that, like, I did not fucking realize that, you know, this was a thing that people were, like, craving for. But, hey, mission successful. That's awesome, dude. What's that fucking Proudhon quote? Which people are going to make fun of me for not saying the name correctly. Like, I dream of a future when I am hanged as a fucking reactionary. Right? I don't know how to say it. Okay, shut up. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, I dream of a world in which I would be executed as a reactionary. Where they would see him as a conservative. You know what I mean? Where, like, people have gone beyond a tomorrow that I had even had the capacity to dream. It's wonderful. It's wonderful that it's gotten to a fucking point where, okay, first of all, I don't dream about being executed by you fucking weirdos. Okay, so I just the sub gifters to know that I'm sorry for exploiting you. What? Yeah. But basically what this implies is that, you know, we've gotten to a point where the normative position is like beyond what I ever imagined, what I ever envisioned. For example, we've gotten to a point where like socialism or being a democratic socialist, being a leftist is beyond the, it's no longer regarded as like a horrible thing. It's no longer regarded as like something that immediately gets you fucking clapped. We're not that far off from the government unironically destroying one of the fundamental ideas of freedom of speech when it came to the Red Scare, when it came to McCarthyism. Like, we're not that far removed from that. So that means that the Overton window has been shifting. Why has it been shifting? Bernie Sanders is a significant player. Significant reason. So that's great.
I don't play that game. As much as they like to accuse me of it, by all means, you can look at the videos where I've gotten major thumbs down because people are like, I don't like what Tim said about this, or he's wrong or bad. I'm going to tell you what I think. You know, I said Joe Biden's speech was actually pretty good. I think he passed the buck, but he said some good things. I can say that it's the right move to try and withdraw from Afghanistan, even if you do it wrong, and it's horrifying. Now my bigger concern is that Joe Biden's just going to be tricking us and sending more troops back in, which he's doing. Anyway, I digress. Hasan has certainly made similar statements where he's said, you know, look, what Trump did, his plan, it was the right plan. He said this in a recent video. I watched it. He was talking about how Trump's withdrawal from Afghanistan, it was his plan. It was the right plan. But he thinks Trump is responsible for the peace deal that happened with the Taliban, and thus, I guess he's saying deserves more blame. I think he's being honest.
No, I'm saying it's fucking it's unavoidable. That is the intelligence community and their assessment. If there's anyone to be fucking blamed for this, it's, well, one, Trump, who like literally fucking took out Taliban prisoners and negotiated the plan. If you're going to get mad at it, which I'm not, that's one thing. But also on top of that, it's the intelligence community that like decided to basically give Afghanistan to the Taliban.
I think that's how he genuinely feels. I think he's wrong because I think that Biden took it, changed the terms of the deal.
I don't care. Like, I don't. That's the difference. Like, I am not anchored by a partisan position. Like, I have no partisan motivation that anchors me. I fucking shit on Joe Biden and I shit on Donald Trump too.
I don't think Donald Trump was
they deserve to be shitted on.
Charge when this was going down. He made a peace deal. The peace deal wasn't followed through with. Biden did not respond. Biden snuck troops out in the middle of the night. Now that debate.
You don't understand, bro. I can only do my job in the comfort of a beachfront mansion, the wealthiest city in the world. Yeah, I live in front of the beach. I do. I went and I got a beachfront compound. Okay. Why are people... This is the thing that I personally will never understand. People are just like, dude, you can only... Like, I'm going to fucking tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly what you can and can't purchase. Okay? This is what leftism is. I'm going to tell you exactly what you can and can't purchase, and that's the only way we can do socialism. Okay? Real socialism is when I find the house for you. Okay? And then you go live there. Like, why are you fucking... You are so much more parasocial than all of my... Suddenly praising LA? I love LA. I've literally talked about how I was going to buy a fucking house here because I love living here. And I like LA. I've always liked LA. It's very fucked up. There's a lot of income inequality. There's a lot of fucking wealth inequality. There's a lot of disparity in available housing. But
over, withdrawal from Afghanistan is fine. We disagree. I don't think he's wrong to have his opinion. But I want to point out, there are a lot of grifters. There are a lot of people exploiting people. And let me explain something to you. You want to understand what exploitation would be? A plumber fixing the sewage lines so that a society can function, and then people like me and Hasan who make money just opining on the internet. What do we really give to people? Now, I get it. Culture and ideology.
Wait, what? No. Dude. That's not exploitation in the Marxist sense. In the Marxist sense, exploitation occurs when you are depriving your labor their surplus labor value, okay? And not giving them the means of production, okay? But then also, that's a fundamental Marxist orthodoxy principle, okay? Just at the heart of Marxian economics, right? But beyond that, what Tim Pool is trying to describe isn't even exploitation in like a capitalist understanding. It's like, no. The exploitation occurs when the plumber is being worked to the fucking bone and not getting their surplus labor value back. Okay? That's where the exploitation occurs. Not when you're, I don't know, fucking doing a entertaining show.
But is it really worth more than the hard physical labor of somebody who's like building a house or doing construction? No. And maybe that's why I'm more lefty, right? I've had some libertarian types and ANCAPs tell me, no. So I made a music video, Will of the People. And I show it to these individuals, some, right-wing types, ANCAP types. And they're like, wow, congratulations, you did a great job. And I was like, oh, well, a ton of people worked on it. Nishra was the one who did the production. And they're like, no. Don't pass off credit. This is your project. You oversaw it. You made it happen. It's your talent. And I'm like, I get it. Objectivist, libertarian, ANCAP type. It's you who oversaw the whole thing. And I get it. I do. But I really do think the people who did the work are deserving of the credit for doing the work. Of course, it was my idea. I formulated the story. I wrote the song. I wrote everything about it. And then I said, hey, guys, I have an idea. And I needed the people who knew how to do the work. I actually value the hard labor more than I do just the idea. I think
I'm fine with you having a good house if it means you can keep giving me hot takes to repeat to my friends like they're my own. That's it, dude. Thank you. That's the honest situation there. As far as your relationship with the content that I provide, like, this is the most honest fucking take I've seen in the chat today.
They're of equal merit to a certain degree. We only grow great. I mean, for instance, look.
You stealing chat's jokes is more exploitative than buying your $100 million mansion. Yes, totally.
I'm only able to do what I do with timcast.com because you guys become members and are basically all holding up this giant platform, allowing me to try and build something. So I get it. We do add things in terms of political commentary. I'm just saying...
When a comrade buys a bigger house than mine, malignant gaze. Watch new Contra video on Envy? Maybe.
The workers of the world, I know I'm using that phrase on purpose, are substantially more valuable than either of us in our political opinions. But anyway, let's jump over to Hasan's Twitter here, so I can point out a few things, and then we'll talk about this conversation around owning a house and socialism, and why I actually will disagree with Hasan on some things. Again, I'm not trying to make this about Hasan. I'm trying to make it about the ideas of socialism, work, and labor and stuff like that. It just so happens to have fallen on him because he's got criticism over his house. So someone said, imagine supporting socialism, a system in which only the rich benefit and stay within power while the majority of the population is held to a specific standard in payout, just to buy a $3 million mansion in West Hollywood. Hasan says you are literally describing capitalism. What you described is capitalism. Even the massively inflated price of the house is also a consequence of capitalism. This one,
he's like not getting to the nitty gritty. Wait, I want him to comment on that. Why is he not getting into the nitty gritty on it?
Alexis says, let me pull up the full conversation, try and get some context here. Alexis Isabel on Twitter says, I don't know, man. It's just flat out unethical to be profiting off of socialism and buying yourself a $3 million home in a state that has one of the highest homelessness rates in the country. If you're mad, I find this to be gross and unprincipled behavior. I don't really care. Hasan says, you literally have a Patreon link in your profile, LMAO. What does that have to do with what she said? Alexis.
Wait, what do you mean? How do you not understand? If it's unethical to be profiting off of socialism, as this person implies I am doing, then they are straight up the most unethical, considering that they have a Patreon dedicated to like sending people Marxist IG memes. That's actually capitalizing off of like socialism or whatever the fuck. Which I don't even have a problem with that.
Isabel actually, I think, makes a really good point. I have no problem with Hasan being successful.
Yeah. Oh my God. Of course.
I bought a massive, $1 million house in the middle of nowhere. It's in Maryland. It's basically like the West Virginia area. It's like Harper's Ferry. It's like a tri-state. And I have no problem with success. Now, I didn't buy the house so that I can live luxury with a butler. We're using it for our production facility.
This person is paywalling Marxist reading. And by the way, I don't even have a fucking problem with that. Like, if you want to do that, go off, okay? That's on you. But a person who is paywalling Marxist literature and like sends Instagram memes to people for $5 a month coming at me when I stream 10 hours a fucking day and do a broad scope of coverage from news, sometimes even fucking gaming to, reaction content, memeing. Like, there is not a single part of what I do that is just entertainment with an educational focus that seeks to fucking do agitative propaganda. Okay? That's it. That's what I do. To say that this is like me profiting off of socialism is psychotic when there's people in here who think I'm a Republican. When there's people in here who think I'm a neoliberal. When there's people in here who think I am a fucking dengist. Okay? And on top of that, there is absolutely nothing that is paywalled. The only thing you can't get, okay, and in very minor circumstances, the only thing you can't get is the emotes and also the top of the hour ad break. That's right. Because at the top of the hour, every hour, there's a 60-second ad break. Now, this is a contractual obligation that I must fulfill. Woo! That was a good one. That was a good segue. Okay? A contractual obligation. But you can avoid the ads. Even then, you can avoid the ads. Okay? How can you avoid the ads? By subscribing. You can subscribe for $5. You can subscribe for free if you steal your wife's boyfriend's Amazon Prime and connect it to your own Twitch. Because then you'll get one free Twitch Prime a month. You can also use an ad blocker. One of those that works still on Twitch. I don't know if there are any. Or a VPN. Okay? That's right. Twitch Prime is free, however, if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience. Here is the ad now. Let's keep going.
To a great extent. We film a lot here. We film the Cast Castle here. I got this not because I need it. I got it because I want to do more. I want to bring people on. I want to expand and create stuff and have fun. I'm not interested in buying a Ferrari. I'm interested in hiring some people who are going to make good stuff and inspire people. My actual house is like 1,000 square feet. It's actually really small. This is just where we...
You exploit me because you resume the reacts while I'm watching an ad, lol? Get a fucking VPN, dude. Well, they can't probably hear me now. But like, Bummy has been in this community for years, okay? This motherfucker knows. He sees probably 6 to 10 fucking ad breaks a day, depending on how many hours of content that I'm providing. If at this point, you still are like, oh, fuck, man, I just saw another ad. It's like, dude, you're literally in here 10 hours. Fucking figure it out. Figure it out, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. It is absolutely your fault if you still are like, oh, fuck, man. I'm still seeing ads here, dude. This sucks.
We do work. So I got no problem with buying this, but Alexis brings up a really good point. I don't come out and come on.
It's also shocking that Bummy has not gotten a gifted sub, like even on accident. Even today, there's like been 1,000 gifted subs today. Just today alone. And this dude has the absolute worst fucking luck. Has never gotten a fucking, he's never gotten a gifted sub.
YouTube and tell you that we need to, seize the means of production because the poor working class. I say we need to build a better culture. We need to teach people to work hard and find that merit. And we do have problems with, crony capitalism. But I'm not sitting here saying that everybody should be giving up everything. You know, I guess my politics aren't as far left as Hasan's. If he really was, in my opinion,
Nate Bailey, thank
about
you for the
what
10.
he was talking about, a $3 million house is substantial, man. Like, no, for real. You don't need to buy a $3 million house. He's in West Hollywood. See, I moved to the middle of nowhere because I wanted a big place that was as cheap as.
So, okay, so the 16-minute buildup was so that he could still do the same kind of like condescending thing and agree with like some of these completely psychotic. Oh, shit. Holy shit, boys. In the midst of all this controversy, you know who just followed me? Of course, another fake community organizer. The great Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II. That's awesome. You might know him from Poor People's Campaign. Maybe we can have him on the stream some point. That is absolutely dope. I love him. One day, we will have Reverend Right on as well. That is the dream.
As I could get. So we chose to, for one, get out of cities. Obviously, you know my political opinion on cities. We wanted to go even further away, but then we need to be close to an airport. So ultimately, I said, I don't want to waste money on a big building, but we need a workspace that can accommodate. We have like 25 employees now. We are growing like crazy. We have more shows coming out. So we moved to the middle of nowhere so that we can get a big house. And yes, it's substantially larger than Hasan's house, but he chose West Hollywood. And so I do personally disagree with that, though ultimately I think...
Why? But like, why? Someone needs to explain to me why. If you have no problem with me like living wherever the fuck I want, why does it seem like you have a problem with it? Like, what's up? Like, what? Socialism is when you don't get to live where you want? I don't get it. You chose to live. You chose where to live, and that's cringe. Yeah. What kind of weird take is that, dude?
There is a tinge of of envy here. Alexis responded when he said you have a Patreon link in your profile. She said, I mean, that's entirely different than buying a $3 million home in a rich neighborhood, but I guess you got me for making $100 a month. Hasan says, oh, so the way we generate income is identical. It's just the amount that bothers you. Got it. This is a real great look for the, what is this, PSL Web, for the Party for Socialism and Liberatio, by the way. Didn't realize Marxism was about the relation to the means of production, but about arbitrary cultural signifiers assigned by reactionaries. This is where Hasan starts to lose me, right?
Wait, why? Is it because you have no concept or no comprehension of like Marxism? Is that why? It could be. That could be the reason. He means it's because it's a lot of words. If you have a basic understanding of Marxism, you will recognize that what that person who is like an active fucking party member in one of the biggest fucking socialist parties is unironically spouting revisionist nonsense with the hopes of getting like, you know, some fucking clicks. That's it.
He's losing me because he could have just said, listen, guys,
maybe his argument is that the 3 million could be better served in other communities, help the local economies more. They're just jealous AOC never called them sus on stream. That's the thing. Like, people keep saying, oh, she's so principled, lol, go figure. Y'all quoted me on this, but no, I'm a huge communist. I love Fidel. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, people are trying to make their buck. You know, I don't even hate on them for doing that, okay? PSL and big in the same sentence? Okay, well, it's like, you know, a legitimate organization, okay? In comparison to, like, I don't know.
I am a proponent for all of the rights of the working class and the labor and all that stuff, and for more socialist policy, but I do believe people have a right to earn and be wealthy. That's just it. Instead, it's this weird deflection that actually, I believe, begins to discredit him. The means of production? Let's talk about the means of production. This house is the means of production. My
What? Okay. True. Wait, is this going to turn back around? Go ahead.
ability to live in this house is the means of production because I produce in my home. I film this video. The more space we have, the more I can produce. My camera, my microphone, my computer are the means of production. Socialists believe that the means of production should be owned by the public. They also claim to say there's private property and...
No, dude. No, the workers, okay? There are many different kinds of socialisms. The ultimate concept, though, revolves around a more democratic process, a more democratic ownership over the means of production. It doesn't fucking mean the government gets to decide who lives where. Why? Why? He was like so fucking close, and then he's just like, duh. That's why he doesn't understand the concept that I'm talking about here. God damn it.
There's a difference between private property and personal property. I can never get a straight answer for this because there isn't one. Where is the line between private property and personal property? Where is it?
What do you mean he can't get a... What do you mean he can't get a fucking... Wait, what? It is an incredibly... Google is free, okay? You know, you give away like all your personal information and stuff, but it is a very well-defined, easily definable concept, okay? If you own a house and you live in that house, that's your personal property. If you own a house with the explicit purpose of renting that out, that is your capital accumulating. Okay? So that is private property. That's it.
Is Hasan's computer, his camera, the means of production?
Yes.
The answer is yes. There are a lot of...
My house also happens to be that because I literally not only live in it, but also fucking stream out of it. So yes.
Poor people who don't have that computer or that streaming setup. And if they did, they could produce too. Why should Hasan be the only one who's allowed to have access to these specialized tools? His house. His house is effectively the factory. He's got a very large house that is more than enough for a single person. In fact, a single individual would be fine in a 1-bedroom apartment. Now, I don't know if he's married or anything like that, but even then, a 3-bedroom apartment. Let's be real. You've got mom, dad, kid, 3 bedrooms. Maybe you want to move out to the suburbs where it's cheaper, so you get a 5-bedroom house, 5 bathrooms. Hasan's house in West Hollywood is the means of production. In a socialist system, the question I have that arises with this kind of stuff is, if we truly did say that the means of production are controlled by the public, how would you determine who...
So let me establish something here. He created a faulty premise, openly admitted that he doesn't understand like fundamental Marxist concepts, and now is just working off the faulty premise that he had previously established that has nothing to do with anything. Why? Isn't he a journalist? Like, I don't understand. Why didn't he just fucking strawman Piker? Wait, what? It makes zero fucking sense what he's saying currently. It literally does not make any sense. And not only that, but he could just Google it and comprehend it, okay?
Who gets to live in the big house and who gets to live in the small house? Why should Hasan, who doesn't make food, doesn't build homes, get to live in the big house and not the small house? I think it's simple. He is in an authoritarian system. He would be the party member, proselytizing to the masses. That's what he produces. Now, for me, but similar.
No, a house could be considered the means of production. Like, yes, shelter is fundamental for survival, but also in my particular circumstance, it is where I make the videos. Okay, it is where I stream. So Tim isn't actually wrong when he says his house is technically the means of production. Where he's wrong is when he turns around and says, everyone should own his house. Who gets to own the house? It literally just, he took 20 minutes to just basically say socialism is when I take your toothbrush, Socialism is when no toothbrush. Okay? But also, he's making it up. There is no, like, this is a completely made up concept. And he doesn't even hide it because he just stated that he does not understand the concept. The difference between personal and private property.
Here I am espousing my ideology to you and converting the masses to the ideas of liberal, classical liberalism, libertarianism, and, free market and things like that. But I also still kind of believe in workers' rights and, to an extent, workers' organizing. I think modern unions have become very strange, but ultimately the idea of a union I'm absolutely cool with. This is what we do. I'm not making food for anybody. Actually, that's not true. We do film ourselves baking and stuff, and I do have chickens. But I just find it very strange that I'm considered to be right-wing or conservative, but I find myself to the left of many prominent individuals, or at least challenging the ideas that don't seem to make sense. In a socialist system, Hasan should be granting access to his streaming setup when he's not using it. Other people should have access to the means of production so that they too can be successful Twitch streamers. Right? I get it. Because when...
Wait, what did he say? I missed it. What? It was so stupid that it like broke my brain.
This is what we do. I'm not making food for anybody. Actually, that's not true. We do film ourselves baking and stuff, and I do have chickens. But I just find it very strange that I'm considered to be right-wing or conservative, but I find myself to the left of many prominent individuals, or at least challenging the ideas that don't seem to make sense. In a socialist system, Hasan should be granting access to his streaming setup when he's not using it. Other people should have access to the means of production so that they too can be successful Twitch streamers. Right?
What? Wait. This actually makes no sense. It's literally like there's no concept. There's no concept of like personal property. If only he understood what personal property meant and the difference between private property, a thing that he could have Googled very easily, there would be no reason for continuing on this random tangent about how socialism means I give you my stream key. Even I, okay, who lack a tremendous amount of alienation from my labor when compared to the average worker, still do not own all of the means of production. That will never happen. Okay? That'll never happen. It's just unfortunate reality. Jeff Bezos controls most of my output ultimately. Okay? Not just directly, but indirectly. Right? They control most of my output. I have a contractual obligation where I have to hit a minimum amount of hours a month. Right? These are obligations that I have. I have to run ads at 60-second an hour density. I ran one already, so I'm not going to run one right now. It's not a segue. Like, these are all... I need the systems that Amazon has already created. Like AWS. There are so many parts. I need the internet. There are so many different parts of... There are so many... Some of those parts are actually government owned, but so many different parts that, like, I do not own or do not have any sort of control over. To be fair, you chose to accept those obligations. Yeah, of course I did. I did choose those obligations. Yes. And not only that, but I had a supreme amount of negotiating power to be able to dictate the terms. Maybe not abolish the ad break entirely, but at least be able to negotiate it down to 60 seconds as far as the ad density goes. And when you compare how many ads I run or how much ads I run the least amount of fucking ads with when you compare it to every other top streamer on this platform now, because they all got fucking renegotiations done for their contracts, and now they run like fucking 8 ads an hour. So that's just the reality. Did I get killed? No, you're still here. Anyway, let's keep going.
I get it. Because when it comes down to an individual's personal power, they don't want to give it up. We'll go long on this one. I think Hasan is probably making a cool 3-4 mil based on, all of his metrics and everything like that. And I think it's fine. But I'll tell you where things get weird. As you can see here, Alexis Isabel, who's criticizing Hasan, she's the member of the, what is it again? It's the Party for Socialism and Liberatio. That's not a right winger. All right. This is on the left. You've got a bunch of people who are on the left criticizing Hasan. And
isn't it kind of poggers of the news you get the cover for today is a bunch of reactionaries bitching about you? I mean, it's good and bad. It's good because, like, it's easy content. It's fun content. I'm definitely, like, doing well off of this content. There's, like, fucking almost 50,000 people in here since I started. But it's bad because, like, it's functionally a dox. Like, so many fucking people.
Hasan tweeted, Breitbart, left Twitter weirdos, shaking hands, socialism is when no house. No house? I mean, bro, it's a $3 million house. It's very different than not having, than.
But that's not. But it's not fucking different. And here's why it's not different. Because even if I got a fucking $1 million house, then it's like, oh, well, that's still too much. That's the whole point. Because this is completely focused on the fucking aesthetics. Okay? And ultimately, every single fucking idea gets reduced back to lefty owns a house. You can't do that.
Than not having a house. But I think the reality is people need to understand, what's Hasan going to do? He's rich. He's got all this money. Is he saying he wouldn't give it up for a socialist system? He said literally to other people, tax people like me if you have a problem with it. So that's it. The dude's rich. He made money. There you go. But here's the point. Josh Bowden, peasant mysticist, also criticizing Hasan, has a sickle and hammer in his name. These are not right-wing individuals. Breitbart did write this story. Socialists.
But that's okay. Why is he looking at my handshake tweet and not and basically showing what I was memeing while still also not understanding what I was trying to say? You are just proving what the fuck I was saying. These are hammer and sickle, like, lefties agreeing with fucking Breitbart.
Who said, I'm not going to read the title. It's a bad comment from Hasan. Buys $2.7 million West Hollywood home. I don't understand the right-wing gotchas on things like this because it's not a gotcha to anybody. I guess it's a virtue signal to people on the right because they'll be like, oh, these socialists. Many of these leftists who are criticizing Hasan, I think it's interesting. We'll get to that. But a lot of leftists are defending him, too, because they don't think you shouldn't be able to have merit entirely. Unfortunately, the prominent mainstream leftists that are propped up by people like Hasan do believe there's no meritocracy, do believe in equality of outcome, in which case, in a system that is equality of outcome, Hasan cannot have this house.
That's not true. Marxism has absolutely zero to do with a full-blown egalitarian outcome. There is no equality of outcome. Marxism is about equality of opportunity, true equality of opportunity, not the equality of opportunity that we claim to have here in the United States, offering people, at the very least, the time and comfort and ability to be able to go out and do whatever the fuck they want and engage in fulfilling things, okay? Lack alienation from their labor, to be able to have more control over their own lives. There is definitely an individualistic attitude that's baked into Marxism. It's about driving that, though. It's about getting to that outcome. Because how can you say that you are truly free? You literally said this yesterday during the theory stream. I know. How can you truly say that you are a free American when you yourself are working inside of a workplace that has a corporate hierarchy that is autocratic in nature for 80% of your adult life, and then you are saddled by fucking debt, and you have to pay bills all the goddamn time. You have to pay your landlord because you're renting, and that's the socialist thing to do, obviously. Never own a home. Like, that, in and of itself, is not true freedom. True freedom is being able to do what I do. That's the reality.
So anyway, I digress. Ultimately, I think these ideas are authoritarian. And whether or not they actually say they're for stripping away someone's rights and, you know, and
dude, Mao would have hated that you own your own home. Yeah, totally, dude. No, famously, all socialist land reforms revolve around like taking people's personal property away. That's what socialist land reforms are about.
and property and things like that.
Such revisionism. Yeah, literally. That's just, you're making it up. That's not true.
The path they're on leads there. But now I bring it to the hypocrisy. And it's not, I'm not here to drag Hasan. I actually, you know, respect. This guy works hard. But Cenk Uygur says, right wing wants to disempower the left by saying that anytime someone on the left has money, they're a hypocrite. It's a trick to get the left to give away their power. If the only people left with money are right wingers, we're all screwed and they know it. Don't feed into it. What? What? Sure.
I mean, Cenk is a liberal, okay? He is a social democrat at best. And he is an avowed capitalist, as he loves to talk about. But he is completely correct here. Okay? He's completely right. It is that's why I said exactly what he basically explained here in simpler terms, which is that it is a reactionary tactic to say, oh, you're successful and socialism means you should be unsuccessful. So when leftists do that, it agitates me to no end. When I hear dumb fucks on the right say all day, every fucking day, all day, every day, nonstop, like, oh, dude, socialist bought a house, Vuvuzela iPhone. Like, I don't give a fuck because I expect them to be fucking stupid. But when I see someone who's a self-described leftist, it tilts me to no fucking end. Because you yourself have bought in to the fucking reactionary propaganda, hook, line, and sinker. That's it. And you are now agitating against others that have your best interest in mind because it's a reachable fucking site. Like, that you think you can make some change, some meaningful change immediately by being like, oh, Hasan, you bought a house. Like, how fucking dare you? So good luck. I am the most fortunate motherfucker on the planet, okay? Nazar Demesin. I'm the most fortunate motherfucker on the planet. There was a time and place when this sort of shit used to fucking break me, dude, okay? Especially with the death threats and like any sort of like criticism, any sort of like fucking going viral, trending moment would break me. It would hurt. I would just like close off. I would read all of the fucking horrible comments. I was like, fuck, everybody hates me. This sucks. And now I have a way more stoic approach to it. But part of the reason why I can have that is because I have the freedom. Not just the financial freedom, okay, which I certainly do, but also I have this community. I have this community that I've been able to cultivate, that I can educate, that I can entertain, that I can go back to. So this is the reason why I no longer give a single shit when people are like, you're canceled. No, it's not real. Just shut the fuck up. It's not a real thing. Okay? And you're not making any like significant change by being like, I can't believe you bought a fucking house. Because I have you guys. And that's the reality. And it's one that I routinely talk about. I talk about this reality all the time. So if you're new here and you came in here and you're like, oh my God, fuck this guy. I hate him. I saw that he was trending, whatever. Welcome to the community. These are all things that I have always talked about. Okay? Just like I have had that fucking subscription number in the top right corner for years now. Exclusively because I don't want to hide how much I fucking earn off of this job. Okay? Off of what I do. Now, if you're new here, it might seem like this community hates me, but they don't. They do love me. It's just they're memeing. They do meme a lot. So yeah. So thank you. As always. can't believe the capitalists made a platform to promote community, to be honest. Yeah.
Wrote the article. But I think for the most part, you'll hear from a lot of conservatives being like, hey, see, they proved capitalism works. And they want to cheer that on because it proves them right to do so. Although there are many on the right who would criticize them as hypocrites. So Cenk isn't completely wrong. But the issue is, I believe you're more likely to find leftists criticizing you than people on the right. Thank you, Alex Caruso, for the 5 tier 1 gift subs. Cenk says,
and spell out my name for the 10.
Right say, if you're rich and left, you're a hypocrite, but also say, if you're left and poor, you're envious. Cenk says, exactly. They set up a no-win situation for the left. These are the talking point ambushes, and when some people on the left help them with these false paradigms, they're gleeful at how easy it is to trick our side. No one ever asks them why it's better to be rich and greedy like them. Rich and greedy like them? What about you? Both of you, Hasan and Cenk, you're both super rich and wealthy. You could give that money away. I'm not exaggerating.
Wait, what? Dude, how is he? He's, at this point, it's Shabibo's mom's WAP. Thank you for the 5. Doom Bongo, thank you for the 5. And A-Type, thank you for the 5. I don't understand how he could just like read something that is like very easily identifiable and not understand it.
Hasan, you don't have to buy a $3 million home. You can easily buy $1 million home. You can buy a $500,000 home. You can move.
Why? Like, why? I can. Why? Thank you, Flippy34 for the 10 and Zephyr Calling for the 5.
To Pasadena. Why does it got to be in West Hollywood? Pasadena's not that far away.
It's incredibly far away. It's literally just, you're wrong. It is so fucking far. It's so fucking far, dude. Especially in LA with LA traffic. Are you crazy? Thank you, Blue Keck W for the 10 tier 1 gift subs. So here's the thing I will never understand. Proper 9 for the 5. And also, Pasadena is incredibly expensive. H. Bizzle with the 20. Oh, God. We have DNC operatives funding the fucking stream now, boys. It's over. It's over. It's done. H. Bizzle, our resident fucking DNC op. Like, this dude says move to Pasadena like Pasadena is fucking cheap accommodations, dude. Why would I do that? I don't even want to do that. It's the same price, so it's already stupid. What the fuck? Okay, guys, stop gifting subs, okay? This is going on the fucking compilation. Everyone's gonna be like, he's been getting subs since he bought the house. People are giving him more money now. Harsha 1306, Psy 51, Larkin Paul for the 5. Jesus Christ. TXT for the 5. He's mad you're taking a house away from a white person, obviously. Ultra PG with a 20. This reminds me of the Ben Shapiro argument, just move forehead. But like, there is no reason. There is no reason. There is absolutely zero reason for me to like live elsewhere other than where I want to live. Saf Daddy, thank you for the 10 tier 1 gift subs. And Shaggy Wog for the 20. Like, I don't. Fuck yeah, we gifting subs. This is me giving my money to a thing I love. But like, I'm exploiting you guys so much, dude. I'm exploiting you guys so fucking much right now. Do you not understand? People on Twitter are going to be very upset. They're going to be very fucking upset that Shook Saul, thank you for the 10. Neki Stranak. Fucking Christ. I can't even read this shit. Okay. Lethal Eradicate with a 5. Palomian with a 5. Neki Stranak with a 5. Smoked with a 5. Dark Cut 32 with a 10. DPPL VSN with the 5. Lowton with the 5. Dorsch with the 10. Hal Gayer with the 30. Guys, I just want to warn you. Okay? I just want to warn you right now. You guys are giving money to a person who already has a lot of money, who recently bought a house. And also, like, you're not organizing the revolution, okay? I'm just going to let you know. One more time. No, I didn't hit 50K. I don't know why Oh, I did hit 50K. Oh, shit. Oh, I was looking at the viewers rather than the subs. I did. I actually now have 50,000 subscribers. The boring house. The fuck? Thank you for the 5. Munch for the 5. Stinky 19. Did you say gaming at 50K? I never said that. Oh, fuck. Tim got salty because you got a place instead of moving in with him. Anyway, I fucking forgot what was going on because you guys are blasting my ass with gift subs, which you should stop doing. Your labor is creating value, entertainment, and the capitalist Amazon, Twitch take a cut of the money generated by your labor for their own profit. The Twitch platform is the means of production. You are a well-paid laborer, same as well-paid actors and athletes. Yes. This is 100% true. But when I mention it, people get fucking mad. Because they have no fucking comprehension. They have no way of understanding this. From the fucking relations to the means of production, and only see it from, like, we're so far removed from any sort of, like, fucking leftist understanding that even leftists themselves view this in, like, arbitrary cultural signifier based ways.
House in Pasadena, $500,000. How about that? And they're big. No, but you want to be in West Hollywood. I'm fine with that. He's allowed to do those things.
Like, socialism and 250K per paycheck off subs. Yeah. It's like, that's what I mean, dude. You are, again, you're mad. You're just mad. That's it. All you are doing is being mad. You're just upset.
But then to say rich and greedy like them, as if only the right is rich and greedy, I suppose the problem ultimately comes down to the fact that Hasan, as rich as he is, doesn't need to live in that area. And he could take the extra after. Look, on a $2.7 million house, considering the market today, I'm probably wrong. I don't know. But I'd have to estimate that Hasan put down 20% buying a house like that. I really don't see many financial institutions wanting to make a loan of that size on a house to somebody who's going to put down 5%. It's entirely possible that Hasan bought the house in cash even. I don't think that's likely because it's just...
No, I did not. Why would I do that? No, of course I didn't buy the house with fucking... I don't have that much money, dude. Are you fucking psychotic? I mean, yes, they are psychotic. No, it's nuts, dude. These people literally think I don't pay taxes or some shit, dude. They just, like, look at the subscription number and they go, okay. Amazon obviously takes no cut. And then also there's no taxes that you could ever pay. Okay.
Just a bad financial decision, but maybe. I think it's possible he probably put down $600K in cash to buy that house. Think about the amount of money you could do. Think about what you could do with that money. And so here's my criticism for everybody, not just the left, for the right as well. To see someone like Hasan making potentially $3-4 million a year, I'm assuming, again, just speculating. He's a one-man show. I make a lot of money. Tim Cast makes...
The other part of this is like, I have released all fucking IP. This is another part that people don't recognize, where it's like, I've released all IP. There are like almost 100 fucking channels in the HasanAbi Clips industrial complex. Okay. We joke about that. We joke about like there being a HasanAbi Clips industrial complex. There are other people who literally fucking are very beneficial to the stream because it spreads what I talk about far and wide. Okay? And also people come in here when they see that, when they see the you know, videos and stuff like that. There's just way too much to fucking ever edit. There's so much content that I'm like putting out that it's impossible, right? And I like willingly release my intellectual property so that others, if they want to, can make money off of it. And there are people that do. I have YouTube channels that are not owned or operated by me, that are operated by some of you guys in this community, that have hundreds of thousands of fucking subscribers on YouTube. Okay? They get millions of fucking views. And that's a wonderful thing. So there's also that. Yeah, we're going to watch the Nelk Boys after this with Donald Trump.
Makes a lot of money. So you know what I did? I started hiring people as fast and as quickly as I could. Empowering people so that, I'll tell you this. If I were to basically shut everything down and just do this show and Timcast IRL, that's most of where the revenue comes from for the company. But we're expanding and trying to do more. We're doing the Cast Castle. We're doing 2 new shows that are being built right now. One's a D&D show with, you know, embracing cultural issues and having fun. And one's Tales of Intrigue. Those aren't the names. But we're trying to build shows, build culture, and expand. I'm not buying a $3 million home for myself. My criticism with Hasan isn't any perceived hypocrisy. It's, bro, why don't you use that money to put it behind what you believe in? You work hard. I respect that. But why not hire people, start a network, start a brand, start advocating for these causes? My friends, we're also starting a nonprofit. We've already signed the paperwork that we're going to be setting up a fact-checking nonprofit. I am heavily invested in
Okay. Part of the reason why I don't want to do that is because I don't want to fucking do that. And I'm glad that I already mentioned that up front with like releasing the IP and stuff like that. Because I don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to fucking grow like that. That's also the same fucking reason why it takes so long for me to make like, you know, merchandise and shit that you guys actually want. Okay? He's like giving me business advice like he's one of my fucking finance friends. All of you people mad at Hasan don't even realize he bought that big house because he knew the OnlyFans creators were going to need a place to stay. True, dude. That's right. Yeah. He's literally suggesting you become an operation at the scale of H3. Like, not everyone wants that. The legwork alone, and that is insane. Yeah, I don't like that. I like doing this. I have worked at a operation like that. It's called the Young Turks. And I, as someone who worked in an operation like that, did not enjoy working at an operation like that. You know, no disrespect to Uncle Jank, but that's just the reality. So that is not something I want to do. I like being able to do my own thing. I like shooting the shit. I like not being static. Okay? I like to be able to change the topic of conversation from America's endless imperialist efforts in Afghanistan to car pussy in the Cars 1 through 3 franchise. Okay? And I can't do that when I have like a fuckload of people that I'm working with side by side, especially when everything revolves around me. Okay? Because it's still my fucking face. And if I decide to go away for one day, then what the fuck do we do? Do you understand? So I love what I've been able to do on my own, and obviously not on my own. You guys are a fucking fundamental part of this process. But like, this is it. I love this. That's why whenever fucking CNN or other larger media conglomerates come to me by way of my agents and ask for ways of working with each other, I tell them, you're not going to be able to fucking buy me. Like, you're not. One, you can't afford it, like 100%. You know, they're not going to fucking give me like Don Lemon money. But even if they did give me Don Lemon money, I still wouldn't do it because I have the endless amount of freedom here. Okay? Like, I just do. Real viewers know how real you are to the cause. It just doesn't matter. You like to be a human being that enjoys life, not a drone that literally has to agree with all the intricate details of socialism, just like all the politicians who are our way or the enemy. Yeah, only we get to backseat your life. Well, that's the other thing. Like, the other part of this is like, Drew, remember how TYT got mentioned when you mentioned Trump's dumpy? Just got the Quest loaded tacos from my mom who suffers with malnutrition health conditions. She loves it. Thank you very much. It's so good, dude. If you can buy them, they're fucking so expensive, but they're so good. Anyway. Fuck CNN. Only I can micromanage HasanAbi. True. There is that. The difference also is that, like, I can't fucking ban my manager at CNN, but I can ban you micromanagers. So, you know, act right. I thought we had fun, nephew, says TYT. Yeah, totally.
Everything I say that, you know, this is my passion. These are my goals. When money comes into this company, I keep working towards that goal. Now, Hasan doesn't have to do that. Joe Rogan doesn't have to do that. Steven Crowder doesn't have to do that. Maybe it's a bit unfair, you know, like Rogan does comedy. He's not a politician or a journalist. So he's investing in comedy, and Steven Crowder has his website and stuff like that. But I wonder why it is there's so many prominent right-wing commentators who don't grow and expand and use that money to do more. Ben Shapiro does it, you know? Let me throw some shade towards the Young Turks. This is back in February of 2020. Young Turks progressive founder urged his staff.
Most don't remember the days when you'd work full-time at TYT and then stream full-time too. Yeah, I mean, it took a fucking long-ass time to get here, but people only see it when you're there. Like, motherfuckers don't know that I started fucking Twitch streaming in 2018 and like 35 people were watching me play Fortnite with Felix from Chapo Trap House and like Noah Colwyn and you know, Jack Wagner from Yeah But Still. Like, and back then he didn't even have Yeah But Still. So like, that's how I started. I started fucking playing Fortnite and like talking about politics while playing Fortnite because I was like, you know, I'm already fucking you know, gonna be playing Fortnite with these people. I might as well just like stream it. And it was really, really wild that, yeah, on a loud ass PS4, that's true. Block Supremo, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. So people think that like I've had this level of success forever, and also the only reason why I've had this level of success is because socialism is so fucking pog and everybody loves it. Well, hey, that's great. I see that as a dub. Because you're basically admitting that, you know, leftist, anti-capitalist values are unironically good and something that people fucking want to hear. So, thanks. It's my ultimate goal, so.
Not to unionize. Why? I just don't get it. My friends, I run a business. This is a corporation. We have employees, we have revenue, we have products, we have investments, we have R&D. We are having fun with it. We are trying to grow to the best of our abilities. And I don't understand the mentality of someone like Cenk who would yell at staff who wanted to unionize. I genuinely don't understand. I see zero.
Why is he talking about this on a video that's like about leftist commentator Hasan slammed by the left for buying $3 million house? I was not at the Young Turks, and I was against this. So I don't know why like I'm being looped into this. It's kind of weird.
Zero problem.
I wonder if there's a reason. He's your uncle. I mean, I literally talked to him, and I told him that what he was doing is wrong. I don't know what to do at that point.
With staff unionizing. I don't have an issue with it. How is it they call me right wing and I'm the one who's like, oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, do what's right for you. I believe in you. I might disagree with you politically. Perhaps it's because they're authoritarian.
Which, by the way, they're fucking unionized now. That's another thing. I think they are, right? I mean, I don't know. I haven't fucking kept up with TYT shit, but like, I'm pretty sure they're unionized now, aren't they?
And that's the big dividing line. You take a look at Hasan's political opinions, and that's probably where we disagree. Sure, he may say the Democrats are good and the Republicans are bad, and I'll say...
That's not what I say, Tim Pool. You admitted that you watch enough of my fucking videos to know that I literally do not say that. Both are bad.
For the most part, the Republicans are bad and the Democrats are bad too. But I like Rand Paul and, Thomas Massie. They're shout out. I always shout those guys out. There's a few Republicans I like. But, I'll get called conservative while, I guess, I don't know. Like I said, I find myself questioning their positions. But ultimately it is, I think, authoritarianism. Why is it that Cenk Uygur doesn't want them to unionize? Because he's the boss. He doesn't want anyone challenging his power. A union, hey, now they have leverage against you. Oh no, my power. So what? Just so what? Your life is good. I think that may be part of it too. We have this story. Dear comrades, you're fired. Boss of Socialist magazine Current Affairs got rid of majority of the staff when they tried to start a worker co-op, as he admits sharing...
There's just so much shit that he's like omitting. Like Current Affairs, not to defend Nathan Robinson again, but like Current Affairs had a straight like first of all, they had a union, and also on top of that they had like literally the same fucking level of income for everyone.
Power is easy to do in theory, but hard in practice. I don't get it. I don't. Unless they're just grifters and liars. And what they really want is power. I don't want power. I don't care for this stuff.
That's who Hasan is looking down from his million... What? What is this? West Hollywood isn't a neighborhood. It's a status symbol. Buying a house there is conspicuous consumption, not community building. Most of us couldn't walk the few blocks through that area without getting stopped by private security and police. Hasan definitely realizes that. I was houseless there. I really saw residents because they parked behind gates. Okay, first of all, don't worry. There's a lot of houseless residents there now. Okay, I had no need to walk the streets, so they didn't have to see me and the rest of their neighbors. Most of these neighbors were houseless Black indigenous sex workers. That's who Hasan is looking down at from his $3 million low property. He's showing you his place in the empire. It's obvious he's aspiring to be bourgeoisie through faux leftist entertainment, and at least to separate himself further from the working class while he profits off of them. Vince Staples is still in Long Beach and arguably has more revolutionary potential than Hasan. Dude, you're a fucking idiot, dude. I'm sorry. You are literally the most idiotic person. Vince Staples owns like 10 fucking houses probably at this point. The fuck are you talking about, dude? I mean, I love Vince Staples, okay? No disrespect. I love Vince Staples. I think he's a great fucking artist. What I will never understand, he's not false. Yeah, only if you're a fucking dumbass, dude. Only if you're an absolute dumbass would you ever consider what any of this was stated is correct. What am I supposed to do, dude? You want me to fucking gentrify Los Feliz like the rest of the fucking Hollywood? The youth of Hollywood? Should I go and like live in fucking Encino? Is that what you want? Vince Staples doesn't know what the fuck socialism is and does not fucking care. So if you're spending all your goddamn time arguing with arguably one of the fucking largest content creators who does understand it and does try to describe it to people through infotainment, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Keep jerking off thinking about how Vince Staples is going to be a fucking comrade one day, okay? Jesus Christ. So he's suggesting that you should disingenuously move to a less expensive area and buy a cheaper home that would be the same size to appear like you're more modest and making less money. Yeah, like, I don't get it. The incredibly fucking narrow-minded approach to, like, what, how progress is achieved is also literally so fucking silly. Like, so many people exclusively view progress from the framework of like this hyper individualistic and oftentimes vague community building. Okay? It's always they want you to pretend. No, it's always like this. It's always like, dude, it's exclusively the only way that one can achieve like any sort of class consciousness for others is by engaging in community building efforts. Okay, community efforts. I watched a lot of your content, but I disagree with you on this point. I won't support you further if you don't live in a $5 cardboard box like me. It's like, it's crazy. If I move to a fucking cheaper neighborhood, then I'm gentrifying it. You get that, right? I move to a cheaper neighborhood, I'm gentrifying it. No matter what. And I am. I'm literally gentrifying it when I move into a cheaper neighborhood. There's no winning. So, of course, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And you can suck my left nut. But, of course, a lot of these very same people unironically think that, like, I fucking bought it straight cash. Also, not a single person is like, hey, maybe basically fucking doxing this person to thousands and thousands of people would perhaps put him and whoever is living in his house, i.e. his family, at significant safety risks. But no, because no one gives a fuck until someone breaks down my goddamn door and fucking murders me, okay? And then they'll say, it's good that he fucking died because he wasn't a real leftist. Doesn't this situation make you understand ContraPoint's envy video? I haven't watched it. Shouldn't billionaires make the same argument against this billionaire shouldn't exist argument, saying you are drawing the arbitrary line at $1 billion, similar to how you said your critics were going to move the line from 3 to 1? Trying to learn. Congrats on the house. Yes, because generating $1 billion on labor alone was impossible until recently. Now you can actually do that, given the way that the global economy works. You can literally be like a fucking athlete and exclusively become a labor billionaire. That is what the concept is. But beyond very few instances, it is functionally impossible to become a billionaire on your work alone without exploiting labor and also exploiting the very same or using the surplus labor value in the form of profits to then uphold the very same system of exploitation and build additional hurdles to stop it from ever changing, okay? To continue the subjugation. That's what the fucking problem is. You literally just pointed out why gun rights advocate logic is flawed. Even with a gun, you're worried about us citizens, not the government, breaking into your home to hurt you. Yeah, because there's too many fucking guns. Okay, let's finish this.
I just do what I feel like doing. And, you know, as much it's funny, people try to act like I enjoy being on camera and all of these things. Not really. I never did. That's why I have no skate videos. I've been skating for decades and I have like 3 videos because I hate filming. I just want to do my thing and be left alone.
I gotta pee, I'll be back.
But I understand community, personal responsibility, the collective good. I understand all that stuff. So I'm rather centrist. I lean a little left on a lot of issues. These people are authoritarians. That's why they want you to have the vaccine mandate. That's why they say you're dumb and you shouldn't choose. And that's why I say I think vaccines are good, but I think it's your choice, not mine. You talk to your doctor. They take the opposite approach. They say you're dumb, you're stupid, you're maggots, etc. Because they're authoritarians. I'm not saying there are no authoritarians on the right. I'm saying they are too. That's why when it comes to unionization, they say stop. That's why when it comes to their personal wealth, they don't put it behind their passions. They put it behind their property and their personal wealth because they deserve it. They earned it. They show their true colors, you know, but I do think they earned it. I do think they deserve it. I think I'm not going to put Hasan in the same bucket as Cenk Uygur. I think Cenk is deplorable and awful. I think Hasan just is, you know, disagreeable. But that's cool. I'm fine with it. Tremendous respect for Hasan streaming like 8-10 hours a day. That is, man after my own. I agree, right? I
Did he just say man after my own heart and then stop himself? He's like, I'm laying this on a little too thick here. A little of the nitty and a little of the gritty from Tim Pool.
I work really, really hard, and I think those who work hard deserve it. And I think he's entitled to buy his home, and I have no issue with him doing that.
I mean,
I just wonder why it is.
You did talk extensively about how he did talk extensively about how, you know, I'm you know, it's like crazy that I didn't also you know, buy a cheaper house and then fucking, you know, donate the rest of my money or something.
These people don't want to put that money behind their cause, more so. Hasan says he does put his money behind his cause and people just don't see it because he's not going to do it for PR.
No, people do see it too. Like, it's not, you know, people in my community are aware of it. Some people are. I don't fucking make a massive deal out of it because it is literally for PR. So when people are like, dude, give us some goddamn fucking receipts right now, it's like, no, because guess what, dude? Sorry, you must have fucking missed it. All right, you must have missed it. I apologize, but I'm not gonna fucking turn around and do like the Bill Gates ass, like, oh my god, I'm doing fucking, I'm doing this for you. Doesn't donate money, meanwhile donate 10K on stream. I have donated on stream as well, yes.
I can respect that, but then I look at like a $3 million house for personal use, and I'm like, that just doesn't seem like you're putting stuff behind your cause. You know what I mean?
Why?
But I want to say one final thing to wrap all this up. It may be really simple. Hasan might actually be making $10 million per year. Some people have.
Hasan might be making $1 billion a year, actually. No, I'm making $1 billion a year.
Said he's making $1 million per month, and you know he's got ads.
What?
And he's got paying subs, and he's got YouTube. Maybe he's making $600-700K a month on his own. And so, what do you do when you're sitting on all that money? You can't legally just give it away. People need to understand that too. When you're rich, you can't just hand someone stuff. You can make donations to nonprofits, but he wouldn't be able to just give stuff away. So for him, he's probably like, this is a small percentage of my overall revenue. Plus, it was based on a loan. He may have put $1 million, you know, 600K down, and he's still sitting on a couple million that he's dishing out. So if you don't know, it's really difficult to say. I can criticize the Young Turks.
Out of the where was it? Out of the tens of millions of dollars that I have stashed away, of course. Ultimately, all of this comes down to one thing. Does he have $1 million? Does he have $2 million? Does he have $10 million? Does it even matter? Fake leftist grifter Andy. Can't believe he bought a house. Guess what? I'm gonna buy a house. And I'm gonna fucking stream in that house.